It's 10 p.m. Do you know where the rum has gone to? Vinny says we're out because he's been making pina coladas. I'll tell you, the blender is overworked, but every time it renders a frozen concoction that keeps, helps us keep that helps us keep going on, something like that. I'm tired. I'll tell you, it's been a weird few days here. The Cullman, Alabama tidal wave. Yeah, Bob rocked Cullman, Alabama, and not just at the venue. All the businesses were humming and everything like that. That three-story thrift store was doing well. I don't know. You're first tonight there, Vinny Maru. Hello, hello to you. Elaine Peterson is as well. Hi, Jack. And Vinny, Heather, HOB. How you doing? Good to have you aboard here. Nancy B, you were with us last time. Hi, Jack. Welcome. Karen Phillips, very, very punctual, and you can count on her. You can count on her. Hi, Jack and everyone. Teresa Panel. Hi, Jack and all. What a few days you've had. feel, feel free if you want to opine, because I know there's a lot that you've experienced, but no pressure at all on that. David Staten is here. Welcome. Good to hear you. Hi, David. Where are you watching me again from? Even Buddy McDaniel, who was working hard on Friday. I don't know if you had to go out of town, if you had to leave Alabama, where you are right now. Hope you're home with your family, but I don't know. Rhonda Wolf, hello, hello, hello. Nancy DeMarco, Nancy D, and Nancy B. It had to be. It had to be. And let's see, we have new people. Linda Nash, Johnny Nash's daughter, is here. Hi, Jack. Welcome. Can you see clearly now, Linda? You should be able to, because I did buy a 4K camera. Audience helped me do it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Where are you watching from, Linda Nash? And then we have Kathy. Hi, Jack. Welcome, Kathy 23, the number 23. Starring Jim Carrey. Kathy B. Helen McDonald from Australia. Hi, Jack and all from Aussie land. Thought you were my nose always starts to itch. Thought you were late. Forgot daylight savings here now. The time changed in Arizona. So what did you do? You went ahead an hour? I didn't even know you did that in Australia. All I know is you got kangaroos doing DoorDash, which is very interesting. Well, here is Three Severed Heads, who's been married for 73 years. No way. No way. You don't look a day over 49. Hi, Jack. Hi, Three Severed Heads. And Elaine Peterson as well. Hi, Miss Peterson. Good to have you aboard. BK, Barbara Kendall. Hi, Rhonda. Hi, Jack. Hi, everyone. I'm on my phone. I see. I bet it's a very nice iPhone, isn't it, Vinny? The only reason I would want an iPhone is because I could shoot better video with it. Because with an Android, you get that washed white look that I sometimes get when I hold up pictures in a live stream. My nose is so itchy. My goodness. So, I would really like an iPhone. Doesn't have to be new, just has to have, a working, it could be refurbished, whatever. But it would be better for when I go out on a location and shoot video to have an iPhone, I believe. Other than that, all the bells and whistles, I would never use them, half of them. Once we get into the tech world, I'm yelling for Andy. I'm in Ohio, Jack. Beautiful state. Very, very good. I'm so glad to have you here. Um, I'm hoping for good things for Ohio. Good things for Ohio. Be here for a few more hours. Be here a few more hours. Where's here? I'm on my phone. I'm still at work. Oh, I see. I could disappear at any time for who knows how long. Do you have to do a takedown, maybe? Do you watch those that may be up to bad intent? Tricksters? Reminds me of the movie Original Sin when Angelina Jolie in her prime, I mean, she never looked better, um, was working with Antonio Banderas. And she would be serving drinks around the card table, and she would give little signs so Antonio could see what they had in their deck of cards in their hand. I remember that very well. Well, it's okay, Vinny. You got to do your job, whatever that job is. And we're curious. Bus lady, Tanis, bus lady. I remember bus lady, but yeah, it was all one word. Now it's two. Glad to join you. Hi, where are you watching from? Taris? Where are you hanging your chapeau, bus lady? Brenda Noyce is here. Hello, Jack and all. I'm sick with cold, runny nose. Uh, need to go away for my surgery. Need to go away for my surgery Thursday? How far do you have to go away? It's okay, Vinny. I'm so happy that you came on and you got a job to do. I understand. You're intriguing me, Vinny, as to what you do. Helen McDonald, also from Australia, or is that the only one we have from here? I don't know if Jackie Organ came on yet. Yes, about an hour. I thought you said yes, about an hour. Yes, ahead an hour for summer. Spring forward. It's 12:34 on a Sunday. It's 12:34 in the afternoon at the moment. Teresa Lee Leonard saying hello to Elaine Peterson. And where am I here? Brenda Sweeney. Hey, Jack and gang. Three severed heads. It's the thanks button for $10. Thank you, Three Severed Heads. I appreciate that so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks button right down there for any amount. 99 cents is fine. 1,000 is fine too, but oh, it would relieve some stress. It would. But that's only for the very blessed people. Never tip me, never hit my tip jar if you can't afford to do so. Okay. I've said that both on and off air. I've said that. What else? I mean, don't let my sexy uniform motivate you to dip me, some people say that this is like third degree Mason activity here. Do they have black and white? Do they? I don't know. I looked at how much is involved just to join the Masons at all. The stuff you got to learn and recite in front of others and stuff. And I said, not for me, not for me. So thank you so much, Three Severed Heads. I really appreciate that. We have a meager budget every month, and we're behind right now. What is it? The 11th of October already. It's been tougher to get views. When you have people oversaturating, putting up 3, 4, 5, 6 a day. Learning that when you go outside of topic, I could have told you this. When you go outside of topic, it's going to be a real uphill fight unless you're the next Jim Rohn, who was the mentor for Tony Robbins, Anthony Robbins. Jim Rohn means a lot to me. He passed away now, but if you can take the time, watch some of his talks right here on YouTube. Rohn. I named my car after him. And, an incredibly gifted motivational speaker. He ended his career working for Amway in terms of going and speaking and encouraging them. I wasn't too thrilled about that, but, um, he believed in the products and they loved having Jim Rohn. So that's the way he ended before something out of left field came and took his life around 79. Speaking of losing your life at 79, rest in peace. Um, these brain freezes really. Diane, um, why am I having a hard time with this? Help me, somebody. Who died today? Who died? What legendary movie star died today? I know. Didn't expect to forget her name. There she is. Diane Keaton, Oscar winning actress for Annie Hall, died at 79. Her long, versatile career as an actress, producer, and director was indelibly highlighted by her Academy Award winning performances in Woody Allen's uh, love interest, as his love interest in the Actor Award Directors 1977. I got to click on this. Romantic comedy, Annie Hall. She died Saturday in Los Angeles. Her death was first reported by People. She was 75. She was transported from her home at about 8 a.m. California time. In addition to Annie Hall, my goodness, Something's Gotta Give, one of my favorites that she did with Jack Nicholson. Her other notable roles include The Godfather, Father and the Bride, Baby Room, and a slew of others. We loved you, Diane Keaton, and was very sad to hear of your, what I would say, an untimely passing, untimely passing. People are living longer. Women tend to live longer than men. So, we'll come down here. Miles Wright has hit the thanks button for $9.99. Thank you, Miles Wright. You do that often, and I really, really appreciate it. Thank you, Miles Wright. Here's Rita Faye Tanner with a rose. Hello, Rita Faye Tanner. How you doing? Where you watching us from? Say, I always would like to know. I even forget where Debbie Crumb is from, and she's been here before. Hi, Debbie Crumb. Thank you for the rose, Rita. 3:20 a.m. here. Nice and quiet. That's right. You're in Canada. No, you can't be in Canada. What am I talking about? You're the same time period as we are. I think. I think all of Canada is. I can't believe how itchy my nose is. I don't know. Diane Keaton is correct. Elaine Peterson, bus lady from eastern South Dakota. What's the temperature there, bus lady? We always think you're going to say, 14, but it's not quite there yet, right? It'll get cold there, though. I know that. I think our weather has improved tomorrow for Oktoberfest with Jimmy Sturr in Pine Island, New York. I think so. It was looking really bad a few days ago, and that could be really a really bad sign for oh, let's see. I don't know how to get to my other screen. But anyway, it's supposed to be better and maybe rain Sunday night, I think. We've had a few cool nights, getting down into the lower 40s, upper 30s, that kind of thing. But right now, it feels warmer. Oh, here we go. If I press that, 57 right now, is it? Is it 57 degrees right now? And let's see how our weather's going to go for. Well, I lost it. Oh no. I hope you can still see me. Um, Sunday, 58 for the high, but it looks like could be some rain, at least cloudy, and 51 for the low. That's warmer than it was supposed to be. So we're back in the 50s at night for a little while, and I'm very glad to see that. I didn't lose a stream, did I? Oh, good. Oh my goodness, Sammy, 13.99 on the thanks button. Thank you so very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, Debbie Crum is in Ohio, so we got a few from Ohio. Ohio. Grana G is here. Hi, Grana G. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And sorry for chewing gum in your ear. I'm in West Virginia. You are welcome, Jack. Thank you, thank you. Rita Faye Tanner. And that brings us to 70. 70. So there's people here that I don't know about. Please sign in. Please subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell. Like if you like anything at all. And we're just kind of talking about the Cullman, Alabama experience. I certainly have been sent a deluge of photos, both in the email, Jack the Fair Guy, Fair, Jack the Fair Guy at gmail.com, and also on Facebook Messenger and what have you. I don't want to do too many clips. Fair use. What we put up, I think, is like a teaser. You know, um, 60 seconds, 58 seconds, a little bit longer on one of them. But it's like a teaser because obviously with the camera crew they had in Cullman, Alabama, they're definitely going to make this available for purchase. I would say they're going to make it available for purchase. So because a lot of people didn't get to see it, and I think all I did was speaking just for myself, whet the appetite of those that might want to, see the whole thing and be willing to pay to see it, on a either a download. You really got to do downloads these days, right? DVDs are becoming more and more obsolete, but some of the older people still have a DVD player and what have you. You could forget the video cassette. I think that's gone bye bye. I used to love those video cassette stores roaming around, That was a fun experience. It's a lost art. It's a lost art. So again, Sammy, thank you for 19.99 on the thanks button. Thank you, Miles Wright, as well. And thank you, Three Severed Heads. Very, very nice indeed. I'll look at the Cash App a little bit later on and thank who I usually thank. Give you that handle, but we're in no hurry here. We're in no hurry. Jackie Organ. Hi there, Elaine Peterson, Helen McDonald, and Sammy. Who did she leave out of that equation? Let me think. um, and Robin Roman. So what's going on, Sam? Thank you so much for that. I hope that's well within your budget. Homer Overcash. Hello, Homer. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome to you. Brenda Gaskill as well is here. And yeah, that's who I see so far. So they had quite a few postings on the screen prior to the concert. One of them was, "Don't throw anything," something like that. And I thought, gee, if this were 1972, you might have to say that, but I don't think they're going to be throwing anything now at a gospel concert. um, and they put up a disclaimer, if you don't want to be on camera, this is being filmed. So if you don't want to be on camera, stay out of camera angles, which is not always easy to do. But the venue looked beautiful. Everybody told me, did you like the food? Those that went, did you like the food? It seemed like a scrumptious menu, and they are known for having scrumptious food at Stonebridge. If there's anybody in the management team of Stonebridge, we would love you to contact me. Um, you could do it here in terms of letting me know you're there, or you could go to my email, jackthefairguy@gmail.com. Jackthefairguy@gmail.com. I'll write it right here. Um, we've gotten quite a few emails. So there's stuff that, we want to show you in the future. Let me see if I can find that in the email right now. Let me see. Let me go to my email. Bernadette from the Four Tops sent me a bunch of stuff. Some I can use as thumbnails for the concert. So happy about that. That would have been a good shot of Bob Joyce there, except the arm of the microphone is totally blocking him. On one of our thumbnails to our teaser live videos from the Friday night concert. The thumbnail is Matt Joyce, Sabrina Joyce, and Tom Joyce with Pastor Bob Joyce with his black shirt, white jacket. And that was wonderful. Sabrina McDonald put that up on Facebook. Sabrina McDonald. Then it was given to me. And so let's see here. Start at the top. Elaine Peterson, thank you for hitting the Cash App for $10. I appreciate that so much. Thank you for hitting Cash App. The Cash App handle is lowercase letters Media Guy 56. MEDIAGY 56, Media Guy 56. Thank you, Elaine Peterson. And let's see here. Oh, that's a good picture, Team SWAT. Oh, it's actually a video, huh? Wow. I love it when you hit this, it doesn't stop things. There it is. Pastor Bob sitting at the piano stool playing his guitar. Oh, let's see. Best I can do right now is take a picture of that with the thing that won't get out of my way, the forward button. I think that's at the venue. I think it is. Okay. Such a big crew. Such a big crew down at oh boy, and we don't want that. You never know when you're on TikTok what you're going to get there. You don't know what you're going to get. That's funny. Well, Keith Griffiths is here. Keith Griffiths. Hi, Jack. From Keith here in Leic- Leicestershire, UK. I don't know what that last part means. Lest. Oh, I see. You spelt it out for me because you knew I was going to mess it up. Leicester Shear, share, Leicester, Leicestershire, sure, something like that. Keith, Keith Griffiths. Usually you don't see an S on the end of Griffith, so that's a first, I think, for me. Welcome, and you're in the UK. I got a really mean letter from the UK today, and my mom was from Liverpool, for goodness sakes. So I'll just share a little of that. I won't give away the person's full name. I don't want to do that. Um, but thank you so much, Keith. You're brand new, as far as I know, and you hit the thanks button for $4.99. So thank you. Tell me about life where you live in Leicestershire. Let me know what it's like there. I'm so curious. Does it rain a lot? We always think it rains a lot there. Well, Richard, I don't know. I thought I was going to have to find a new grand patriarch because you might have been abducted by aliens. I know that you've come close several times. And so I'm glad to see you here, Grand Patriarch. Richard Lyon, hello, hello, hello. You weren't in the hospital or anything, were you? I know you got sick of me. You needed a break. I get it. Rita is here. Lovely Rita, Rita Maid. Teresa is talking to three severed heads. I am still trying to process it all. Okay, well, when you do process it all, we'd love to hear from you again. You were quite well spoken last night, and we'd like to hear some of the highlights. Anybody else here tonight that was at the concert? We'd like to have your input as well. Hello, Steven Spielich. How are you? Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Steven's got my back there. Yeah, it seems like the goal to the next mark of 11,200. It seems like it's going to take forever for us to hit that goal. But we're small fish in a big pond, a very big pond, and we're fighting everything from people who oversaturate, hurting themselves just as much as me. And there's other creators out there and what have you. And but I'm for the most part I'm at peace, and I'm very thankful to Andy for coming up here 2 days in a row, loading video for you to see. And we've got more stuff to put up now. Who was it that was at the concert that shot? They were in one of those $2,000 tables of 8 in the very front, and they shot some video. So I'd like to show you a little bit of that because they were the first person last night to actually send me video, but it was after midnight. I wasn't going to go to, you know, Andy and say, "Can you come over here now and get this on for me?" I couldn't do that, and I'm technically helpless for that kind of thing. So I knew that I'd get mowed down because it was going to be a while before I got something up. But it all worked out. I'm very happy what we have up right now. I don't want to put up too much. Obviously, it is not their wish for too much to be up because they want to sell this. They want to have it available, just like you're purchasing a Bob Joyce CD, that kind of thing. Keith says, I live 1 mile away from Engelbert Humperdinck. Well, I follow him on Facebook with his Tuesday Muse Day. I don't know if you follow him. Man, he looks good. I mean, for a while there, he started messing with his hair, but he's going to the salon again. I get the feeling, and his hair looks terrific. He looks like he's 20 years younger than he is. His wife passed away not that many months ago, and so he went back to touring, and he was going to make one more tour, and he loved it so much he said, "I'm going to do it again," and that's wonderful. It keeps him young, and I mean, heck, Keith, I don't know how old you are, but I When I was a little boy, my mom bought her first Engelbert Humperdinck, a 45, and then maybe a full album. I don't remember a full Engelbert album, but I remember the singles. Please release me, let me go, for I don't love you anymore. I forget what show he was fairly unknown, but who can forget a name like Engelbert Humperdinck? He wanted a name like that because he knew his real name just didn't fit. First of all, his last real name is the same as a very famous band leader, Tommy Dorsey. And so he knew being Jerry Dorsey was not going to give him that edge that he wanted. And somehow or another, he came up with the name Engelbert Humperdinck. You're not going to forget that name. Well, there you are, Grand Patriarch, and I thought you didn't love me anymore. 1111. I see. Give me a bear hug, a manly bear hug. Richard Lyon down there in West Palm Beach. He doesn't have a frosty drink with an umbrella because he doesn't drink. He just, he just smokes big fat Cuban cigars. George Burns smoked like 13, 14 of those. He beat all the odds. I mean, Rush Limbaugh, if he hadn't smoked those cigars, probably be alive today. I realize they're not as bad as cigarettes, but when you start doing it every day, 3, 4 of those fat cigars or more, in the case of George Burns, I just decided this summer after I had had one of my Dutch Masters. I would usually have 1 or 2 a month in the summer months, spring. It's probably not a good idea for me because, I'm not on CPAP and I really should be. So I'm trying to sleep inclined and what have you. And I only have mild sleep apnea, but my blood oxygen was a little low at once. So we got the machine. I got to use that little thing you put your finger in there, But thank you, Richard Lyon. I appreciate that. 1111 from Richard Lyon. I hope that you're well. What about Vivian Lee Lyon, huh? You don't have to tell me about your medical conditions, but I'm always wondering if you're taking care of business. Just got the letter in the mail. It's the time. 5 years have passed. Here comes the colonoscopy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. But you got to do it. You got to do it. Not going to do it. Could end really bad for you. Like the guys next door have never had it done. There's a joke there somewhere, but I won't use it. Elaine Peterson wants to know how you are, Richard. And let's see here. Somebody asked, Teresa asked Teresa Lee Leonard a question. Pastor Bob, picture of him in black at the shiny black piano is a classic, beautiful shot. Yeah, he took off his white jacket after a while. He can't be wearing a jacket, he's working too hard. But he sure did look spiffy. He sure did look spiffy. Keith is 62. All right. So you're a youngin'. It doesn't seem that long since I was 62. It's hard to believe that the first full day of spring, I will be 70 years old. Richard, how did this happen? I know you haven't experienced it yet. You're still, you're around the same age as Keith over in the UK, aren't you? Teresa Panel says you're getting what I'm putting down. You getting what I'm putting down. She's been drinking. I know it. Back at the hotel room, I knew that would happen. I knew it. I knew it. David Staten, are you still on live? I certainly hope so, David. Did I miss something that you asked? I do miss, if I go to another screen, I don't see your comments at all. And then I have to try and backtrack and see what I missed. And by then I could miss something for sure. Did you ask something or something? I try to answer everybody, but it's hard. My parents and siblings loved Engelbert. Yeah. Am I that easy to forget? We have a winter world of love, for love is something I can't remember. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, and don't forget the classic. Well, it's hard to top Release Me. That's his signature song, but his final hit, I guess, was After the Lovin', I'm Still in Love with You. I won't sing anymore. I could get into trouble. Can't sing copyrighted lyrics in any length. You know what I'm saying? And I can't play the songs. I'd love to just go to it now and we could all sing it together. It would be great. So I'm saying let's YouTube, let's get a big music license. If they block it in some countries, they block it. Let them block it. We have no control of that. But each of the creators will pay a certain amount every month to be part of this, and then we can take away all that stress, and the programming on YouTube will be incredible, more than it is now. And I know it's incredible now because, let's face it, anybody that loses their gig on network news or cable news ends up on YouTube. There's just a long list. Some of them are actually good, but you got Chuck Todd, you got Don Lemon, I was going to say Candy Staten Suswell. She's the gospel singer. Candace Owens. She's still on the Charlie Kirk thing. She doesn't feel that bullet that hit Charlie came from the gun that it was supposed to. In other words, another shooter. First, they were talking about the back, because there was cameras in the back that were quickly taken down. Now the focus seems to be more on that bullet in Charlie Kirk's chest did not come from the rifle that they found, that that the guy who's been arrested for his murder supposedly had. And there's a whole bunch of other little strange things. But the thing about YouTube, is that it causes creators, especially creators like Candace that were on a bigger platform before, doing very well on YouTube, though, and probably better on YouTube um, than when she was on the Daily Caller. But Tucker, same thing. I love Tucker Carlson, but man, when I hear him go into a long rap about how evil Benjamin Netanyahu is, and I'll listen to the details because I only heard a little bit of it. Um, you can say that he made major mistakes in Gaza, was too heavy-handed, and may have approached it and tried to save some more of those young lives that were horrifically lost. But don't forget what happened on the in 2023, October 7th. That was barbarism at its very worst, you know. So Tucker feels like he's some kind of a Bible authority now. And it was only a few months ago he would admit that he was a lax Christian. You got to spend a lot of time on this and really talk to people that can explain to you where you really can't separate a loyalty to Israel with being pro-Jewish people. You can disagree, though, and say, no, that was the wrong thing that Benjamin Netanyahu did. I get that. I have no problem with that. I'm not in some kind of allegiance with Netanyahu. I think he's a pretty decent guy. Um, but you would have information that says that he's not. But you can't put him on the level of Putin. You can't put him on the level of North Korea's Kim Jong Un and other people like that. Now you're 63. You're getting older all the time, Keith. I think by the time this show ends, because we sometimes go 2 hours, you don't have to stay that long, and you can always watch what you missed in the replay. Not that we have a lot of content tonight. I'm kind of relying on people that may have been at Cullman, Alabama, or maybe you have another topic. Beverly Shockley is here. Hi, from Willards, Maryland, right? Maryland. Either that or you're a medical doctor. I'm not sure, Beverly. You're not like uh, proctologist or anything, are you? Beverly Shockley. I'm thinking of Shackley, those vitamins, right? Kind of like something people used to sell, like Amway and Stanley, and of course Avon. Shackley vitamins. Remember? Anybody remember that? Hi, Beverly, from Willards, Maryland. Nice to have you aboard. Um, Willard is just as much of a well, it's not a common first name, but I never knew a lot of Willards growing up. In fact, the funny thing happened when I got married in 1985 for the first time. Uh, we lived in Goshen, New York. Beautiful, beautiful. It's about 7 miles down the road. Beautiful, beautiful village of Goshen. And there were two Willards in the phone book, and guess where the other Willards lived? Right across, directly across the street. Michael Willard and his family. It was so weird. So weird. Vivian doing well. She said hi. Hi, Vivian Lee Lyon. What's been going on? Did you guys get to do any traveling this year? Get to go on any trips? Um, Rocky Mountain Red Wing, how are you? Hello, hello, hello. Um, Stopping in to say hello to all and my friend Jack. Well, thank you very much, Richard Lyon. I appreciate that. Um, yeah, there's a lot of good pictures coming out of Cullman, Alabama in the last couple of days. Rick Hayes, Rick in Rising Sun, Indiana. We have someone who always says they're from Eastern Indiana. Just listening. Oh, okay. You don't have to look at me. I mean, I have a face for radio and a voice for print. That's what somebody who used to host Coast to Coast AM, Ian Punnett, he passed away. I was sorry to hear that. Ian Punnett used to say that. He did have kind of a, I won't say a grating voice, but it wasn't a great voice like, Art Bell or George Norrie. God rest Art Bell's soul. What a legend. Used to love him in the 90s. On my job, pretending to be a peace officer at a homeless men's shelter owned by the city of New York. Listening to Art Bell till it was time for a little rest. Time for a little rest before the 5:30 meal line. Oh, how nice, Debbie Crumb. I bet you had fun. What did Debbie Crumb do? I just got back from a trip to Ireland. Oh, yeah, maybe you ran into our friends Christine Bradford and her son. Um, they've been back for a few weeks now, but they live right here in the town of Walkill. And she does anyway. And they showed us a lot of pictures. There was a lot of rain while they were there. They did go out in the countryside, but a lot of it was shopping. And of course, they were walking on streets where the traffic was cordoned off. And, I don't think we saw the best of Ireland. I don't think we saw the best of it. Marianne Rossi, not Donna Rossi, who I used to go to school with, Karen and I. Hi, Elaine. Hi, Marianne. Elaine is saying hello to you. Welcome, welcome. Miles Wright talking to David Staten. So I'm going to go away to another screen. Here's Katina Swatsworth. Team SWAT, you sent me some stuff. And thank you for your lovely tip as well, Katina Swatsworth. Katina Swatsworth hits the tip jar. Katina and Chris, also known, her husband Chris, also known as Team SWAT. Team SWAT, thank you very much, Katina. I appreciate that very, very much. Neon, you sent me some of the weirdest stuff, but I do like your puppet there that's supposed to look a little like Bob Joyce. Yeah. Send me a smaller picture so I can show it easier. You know what I mean? So let's go to the email. And look, there's Katina right there. Now, let me get rid of some of these things that just take up base. So there's not that many, actually. We thank Elaine Peterson for hitting the Cash App, Media Guy 56, Media Guy 56. Thank you, Elaine, very, very much. And got a mean email from someone who begins their name with DAV. I'm not going to say any more. Um, let me stop that. Yeah, I'd like to see what Donna Presley has to say. I'm not going to start doing the Donna Presley topic. That's for other people. Um, I can't believe she would be mean in her comments, as you infer, but we'll see. We'll see. Um, but let's see here. Do I want to say this part? She's supposedly quoting Donna. No, I don't, because I don't know that Donna said it, but she said some not nice things about Bob Joyce. Whether that's true or not, we'll find out. I don't know yet. Um, for using Elvis when clearly he isn't. So why do you keep pushing that fact that he is? Question mark, question mark. I've heard, here comes the threat. I heard she's coming after you next. What, not Matt? He's putting up more content every minute. Um, and then, of course, there are all those Facebook groups. You're going to go after those too? Um, Bob Joyce, Elvis Presley alive as Bob Joyce. So I don't know yet. I'll look into it, but um, and I did respond. And of course, there's not one possible iota of fact that could point you in the direction of Bob Joyce being Elvis. Now we always say I speak of possibilities. I could be wrong about the whole thing. And we've been doing this now since 2018. I've run into dozens and dozens of things that would be impossible. There's enough smoke to fill up Texas, for goodness sake. It's impossible for there not to be a link. And I have covered all angles, everything from him being the son of Elvis Presley to being the love child of Vernon. Vernon wouldn't tell everybody who he slept with, cousin or no cousin, but whatever. I don't want to start negativity. I don't want a channel that's based on negativity. We're a loving family here. And whatever anybody else does on their channel, and I haven't seen Donna's channel, whatever anybody else does, that's their thing. When I see that it is not my cup of tea, and I am English, my mom was born in Liverpool. When I see it's not my cup of tea, I just stay away. Whatever someone does on their channel is up to them. Is up to them. Um, but when you're a YouTube creator, it's not going to be all positive. You have to expect that. You have to expect that. You can't be thin-skinned. You know, they go over the line. That's another story. But um, Lord knows but if you don't do any research, if you don't look at the material, if you don't look at Pastor Bob Joyce, hear his voice, go to the 2011 video of mine, Wild New Elvis video. I'm sorry. Is that what I said? Wild New Bob Joyce video. Wild New Bob Joyce video. I forget the title of my own videos. There's so many of them at this point. Wild New Bob Joyce video. Got about 67,000 views by now. 67,000. And you look at Pastor Bob Joyce in 2011, you hear his voice, both his talking voice and his singing voice. You look into his eyes, and that's just one of the one of the 8 dozen clues. There's not one. There's not one. Okay, think what you want to think. I'm not here to change your mind. Pam Donnelly's been sending me some stuff. Let's see what this is all about here. I'm clicking on this link cold. Oh, yes, it's that nice picture. That is the thumbnail. John Cook put that up too. Very good. Hi, John Cook. Give me a call. Just shoot me an email at jackthefairguy@gmail.com and say, if I can see that it's definitely you, come on and talk about Pastor. I won't ask you anything that would make you uncomfortable. Not a thing. I think I did a pretty good job with Gene Ho, right? I think I did a pretty good job. So the thumbnail of one of our live videos from Cullman, Alabama is Matt Joyce looking great. He's shaved the head now and he's got the beard. But of course, when he does his Elvis shows, he still puts the wig on, I'm sure. So what happened to once a month with your Elvis show at 2 p.m. after Tamales and Elvis with Matt Joyce once a month? Sounds like a great idea. Was that too close to the edge? Did that start to feel funny? You're not going to do it at the church. You're going to do it somewhere else. So I hope you still do it. I'd love to see you in concert, man. I really would. And there's the wonderful author, speaker, incredibly talented. Heard some of her YouTube videos. There should be more. I heard a gift there. You can pretty much tell when a person has a gift to speak and when they just don't, And Sabrina has got that gift. I think the man next to her, Pastor Bob Joyce, does as well. And there's Tom Joyce, all 4 of them in the thumbnail. And if we go to, oh dear. No, we don't want that. We don't want that. We don't want that. Stop. In the name of love. TikTok. And there's Pastor Bob singing. Let me see if I can get to my channel here, if that's possible. I'll just open up another tab. It's easier that way. Got so much to look at here, and it'll take a while for us to get stuff up. I can't have Andy up here every day. That's not fair. That's not what I want. Go to my channel. Yeah. So Bob Joyce live in Cullman, song for his wife. It's a taste of that song. The whole video with me talking in the beginning is 3 minutes and 10 seconds. So this whets your appetite. It's a teaser. It's got at least 475 videos right now, probably over 500 because analytics in the pre-recorded videos drags before it updates. And then the other one we put up at 8 o'clock tonight. Bob Joyce live in Alabama, and he sings part of the song Come On To Me, which we've played before, but the one he did in 2011. And that's got 279 or more by now. So looking at our video list. Breaking Bob Joyce live in Alabama. We show you the line at the Thursday meet and greet. The Thursday meet and greet. And that's got 1,800 views right now. 1,800 views. Please watch that. Looking down the list here of other videos. I'm sure there'll be more concerts after the success in Cullman, Alabama. It was very good for business, too. A lot of people shopping and what have you, going to restaurants, and the restaurant right there at the venue, which was open the day before as well. Everybody says the food, great Southern cooking at Stonebridge Farms. Great Southern cooking. Bob Joyce at the house and at the church. Is that the same man? Is there more than one? And we've covered that extensively. It's got 6,500 views right now. Still can't get people to watch UFOs come to dance for me outside my studio window. We turned the lights off, and it was a very interesting show that goes back maybe early spring or something like that, at least 5 months ago. And I can't get people to watch that. Stunning. Don't you want to see a UFO split into four shapes, four squares, colorful squares? Just watch UFO comes to dance for me outside my studio. Wild new Bob Joyce video finally hit 67,000 views. Yes, yes, yes. That tells a story. There's been just so many, but I'm not going to try to, go through them all now. You can watch The Verdict. You can watch the top 50 reasons why Bob Joyce may be Elvis, on and on and on. Let's see here. Was Vernon Presley being truthful? Must see footage. It's got rolling video in it. We show you as a video called Not Bob Joyce Photos, some of the other people that may or may not look like him. So I show you like 4 or 5 different possibilities. Elvis Presley had a number of lookalikes back in the day that he used for various purposes. And go down further. New song from Elvis Presley, question mark. Not sure of the authenticity. His pledge to Lisa Marie, that's 10,000 views. The Curious Case of Bob Joyce, Willina, and Sigrid Schultz, 3K views. Haven't gotten to The Verdict, my biggest video yet. That's got almost like 250,000 views. I never said Bob or Willina Joyce were in a car accident. I never said that Robert Wayne Joyce was dead. People tell me he is, but I'm not saying that he is. People tell me that. Just going down further here. Bombshell, Lisa Marie abused and tormented. That comes out of the book, the words of Riley Keough herself as she tells the story with some diary notes, etc., from Lisa Marie Presley. Absolutely horrific. Absolutely horrific. And a lot of people, blame Priscilla for that. That's the way that is. I have a Homage to Rush series, tribute to Rush Limbaugh. They don't get big views, but I do other topics. You can find everything from a cardiomyopathy topic here to political stuff and spiritual Christian stuff, especially in the early days. Gene Ho interview, 18K for the Gene Ho interview. Breaking Bob Church news. That goes back to the first George Magazine event, promoting that. And I'm going further down here. Inside the Bob Joyce's Church Must Hear. Inside Bob Joyce's Church Must Hear. It's a year ago that I did that. 42,000 views. Is Kurt Russell ready to play Elvis Presley again? I'm going to answer for him. Yes, it's time. Let's do it. Let's have Kurt Russell play Elvis Presley one more time. He's got the hair and everything now, the white beard and everything. Come on. Let's get her done. Get her done. Huh. Some comedy. Mrs. Bumgarden hates Bob Joyce. Jack Savage gives us the report. He looks a little like me. A little like me. And is John Cotner Elvis? No. Live from Villa Roma. We're talking about Mar-a-Lago at Villa Roma, which is seeing some hard times. I hope they can pull through and get everything together because it's hard times at Villa Roma right now. We're not sure about the Poker Weekend. Not sure about the Poker Weekend. Either way, I'm not sure about the Poker Weekend because I got to get to Texas, and see my son. That's a priority. Anytime we do something on people's experiences at the church, I mean, there's been people from sometimes 11, 12 different countries in one service. Many of these United States, of course, Canada. Amazed people visiting Bob Joyce's church. That's got almost 9,000 views. On occasion, a Bob Joyce who looks different appears. That's got 18,000 views. 18,000 views. Responding to the Bob Joyce trolls and the EP protectors. 6,200 views. Yeah. The Elvis Casket Ministry, 1,900. Elvis and Bob Joyce fans don't like Priscilla, 2,400 views. And it goes on and on and on. Here's my video on cardiomyopathy. Defibrillator implanted, the miracle machine. I have a defibrillator in my chest. I have cardiomyopathy. Well controlled by Camzyos, but I may be running out. So far, I mean, they're working on it at Westchester Medical Center, but it maxed out my drug insurance for this year, and it's $9,300 a month. I may be out of that soon. I may be out of it before November. Who preached Lisa Marie's private funeral? Private funeral, not talking about the public memorial. That Sunday, when they held that, directly opposite was Pastor Bob at the old church now in Benton, Arkansas. There are millions of songs. Would you agree with that? What song did Pastor Bob sing on that day? He sang the very song that Lisa Marie sang as a tribute to her father, Elvis Presley. And she did a duet video with it using old footage of Elvis. He sang "No One Stands Alone." What are the odds of that? The idea that Pastor Bob is some kind of a huckster or a fraud. No, he's a spirit-filled man. We don't understand God's ways and the what he decides to do and how he decides to do it someday. But when you go after someone who's one of God's anointed, be very careful. Be very careful. Who preached Lisa Marie's private funeral, also known as the Verdict 2, has 133,000. 133,000. So that's a look. Let me go back to the live stream now and see who we have here. This this will be wild, I'm sure. If it was not for Her Majesty First Lady Tiff, her husband would never have been a preacher or open the church up in Arkansas, and the new church would not be in the horse barn. I'm not going to be too trigger happy, but Cajun Calvin, the bluegrass music from the church members was amazing. So you're talking about in Alabama, right? In Alabama. I didn't hear too much yet. I didn't hear too much. Okay. I see it now, Jody. I see it. I got it, Jody. It's the funny thing is, Jody, same handle, I think, and which means same IP address, and I have gotten rid of that before. So, isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? Um, so your wish is my command, Jody. I did that. Roseanne Hayes, God bless Bob Joyce. Amen. He's a man of God. He's a spirit filled man of God. God's ways are not our ways. We don't understand. We've talked about this and explored the possibilities and what have you. But even I have problems figuring out some of it. But just like Adam and Eve wanted to know everything, and it wasn't for them to know everything, do not touch God's anointed. And I believe Pastor Bob Joyce is certainly anointed of God. Yes, Neo, there's some great bluegrass out there. Heather, talking, I think we got rid of that problem, Heather. Good evening, Jack and everybody. How you doing, Faith Lloyd, one of our loyal people here? Welcome. uh, I'm not saying there's never anything appealing about a crazy woman, but you can't go to sleep, and you certainly can't marry him. Marty Greco, where you been? How are you? Oh, it wasn't that long ago that you were here. Who are these people? Well, I'm surprised we don't get more of it, Marty. If I do a pop on during the day, that's when I sometimes get lambasted, Marty. You don't know how they hurt my feelings. They claim my hairline is too high and that I'm too fat, and that who are you? That kind of thing. It's just par for the course. And I don't even play golf, Marty. Do you play golf, Marty? I don't. But if you do, don't bring that trike out on the golf course. You'll tear up the lawn. You'll tear up the lawn. You got to use a regular golf cart. All right. Tiffany Joyce, are you insane? Insane in the membrane? Probably yes. Probably yes. It sometimes can be entertaining, but not in an atmosphere like this. This is the family gathering on a Saturday night. Everybody wants to relax. That's why I don't do much politics on Saturday night. Maybe a quick little thingamabob. If people start to talk about it, though, I will react to that. See, when I was on the other page, that's when Her Majesty came in. When I was not looking at the comments. Where does Priscilla and Lisa come into play? Oh, well, don't even try to reason. You won't get, she's gone, and you won't be able to, um, bull butter, says Marty. Bull butter. What a bunch of bull butter. See, it went on longer than I knew because I was on another window. What are you doing? Coming out? When are you doing that? Coming out to the public? You speaking to me or someone else? For me, well, we'll see how things go. Every creator, especially when you rely on, um, you know, what is really a very small budget, is you think that, you're 1 week away from the whole thing nosediving. And sure enough, the views have been down, the overall views, um, When another creator oversaturates, what happens is they hurt themselves. They can see it, but they still keep doing it because they have this idea that suddenly people are going to realize, that they really are a great orator when they're not. Everybody has gifts. You got to stay within your gifts. I'm not a tech person. I'm certainly not a musician. I'm certainly not someone who could serve in the armed services. Couldn't even climb the rope in gym class. That's not me. Would have been my honor, though, in times of war, to go and work in the kitchen and serve breakfast and lunch or what have you, something like that. I'm not saying I really wanted to do that, but I mean, these are our soldiers that fight for us. So I have nothing but respect. They're better people than me. They got something in them that I don't have. Along the River, that was released in 1990. So they say. Well, I hate to put it that way. Um, but we can't find much about Bob Joyce, the current pastor of Household of Faith since 2010. Well, you say, well, he was Robert Wayne Joyce. He married Willena Hattie in 1975 in Texas. He married Willena Hattie in 1975, and in the 80s, him and Willena had young children. And at that time, it would have been Matt and Sabrina, who were at the concert in Cullman, Alabama tonight. There they are. That man is who we saw tonight in Cullman, Alabama. What am I supposed to do with this? What am I supposed to do with this? How am I supposed to make that leap? Matt can't make that leap. None of the creators can make that leap. I think even JJB, who may have thought so at the beginning, changed his mind. But JJB, if I'm wrong, just let me know. How do we make that leap? What did Perry Como sing? It's impossible. In my opinion, I speak of possibilities. I don't know what else to say. So let me go back to the end of the stream here. Jack, I'm sorry about the chat. Nothing for you to be sorry about, Jody. See, when I'm on another screen, I don't see it. And I think she was smart enough to wait until I did that. So, but the thing is, I blocked her before. So next is I have to report her, and that'll be but I'm not going to do it this time. We'll give her one more chance. Roseanne Hayes says, "How can I watch the concert of Bob Joyce?" They had a bunch of guys filming there. They were tripping over each other. One got in the way of the other guy. They were all over. I think it's going to be something that they're going to look to sell, like they were selling a CD, or something like that. The original plan, unless it's changed, was that this horse barn that they converted and ended up with, about 50 or so more seats. That's just step one. Step two is to build a big sanctuary on the same 9 acres of land that they have. And I would say a house with a gate around that. That would be my thought. 9 acres is a lot. But you can't build thousands of seats unless you're going to be able to fill thousands of seats. And when you open the new church and there's empty seats, then that sends off bells and whistles. Is there a way for all that to change? Maybe, but you don't want it to go from, how they say this car will go from 0 to 85 in 60 seconds. That's what could happen there. And there, what do you do now? Now I guess you got to go to Hot Springs, Bank OZK Arena while you build the other church, whatever. And that can't be volunteers. It would be finished in the year 2525 if man is still alive. If woman can survive. Yeah. So it's not, oh, why doesn't he say something? If those who believe that there's something to say, why doesn't he say something? Because he'd have to immediately leave the church that they worked so hard on. So I don't know. This is tricky. This is tricky. This is the most amazing story not told by the mainstream media, as far as I can find. As far as I can find. And that containment has to be through the Holy Spirit. And I don't want to get too close to that edge. And certainly hope I haven't. I've never gotten any direction since 2018 from Pastor Bob. Gene Ho, although I talked to him and I interviewed him, he interviewed me. Um, Never really any real direction, like don't do this or don't do that. The only direction like that I got is from someone that used to go to the church. I don't think they're back, but I have nothing against the person. He was upset with me, that's for sure. Um, Nice and then upset. We went both sides of the spectrum pretty quick, and I wasn't being nasty to him. That's not my style. Every once in a while, the flesh comes out. Of course it does. It does for all of us. Praying for Bob Joyce, absolutely. Because it does seem like he's open to new things and whatever the Lord has. And whatever the Lord has could involve an immediate need for a bigger building. An immediate need for a bigger building. That's a pickle. That's a pickle. How do you deal with that? Is there a big department store sitting in downtown Benton with a big parking lot that you know there's a lot of that, or there was a lot of that around here? Not as much as there used to be, because other things come in, like gaming centers for kids and stuff like that. Our Galleria is only about 40-50% stores now. The rest of it is all, little kid places and the big video places and things like that. There's not a lot of big department stores anymore. J.C. Penney is still hanging on at the Galleria. Sears is long gone. I think Macy's is still there. But it's tough. Now, as we get into this Christmas season, it'll be okay for a while. That's why they say, they look forward to Black Friday, because that is when the sales are so extreme that it pushes them into being back in the the back in the black and out of the red, back in the black and out of the red, back in the black and out of the red. Yeah. Roseanne, I'm sorry, Night Roseanne, I'm so glad you stopped by. Thank you. Good night, and God bless everyone. Same to you. Thanks for watching us here at Worldwide Ramblings. We'll be back Wednesday night at 10 p.m. East Coast time, unless the Lord has other plans. I make plans, God just smiles. We'll see what happens. Jack. I think Gene Ho knows he's just being respectful. Well, exactly. And he wants me to be too. I guess he did say that he liked the fact that I didn't come to any final conclusions. You know what I mean? You have to say that. And how do you argue with that? Yeah. Um, I don't. I don't. Hi, Chris Starry. How you feeling? Are you totally in the pink? Are you totally in the pink? I hope so. I don't want to keep asking you that every week if you're in the pink. If you're in the pink, that's just praise God, and we don't have to keep saying it. But evening, Christari, absolutely. We have 91 watching right now. Well, look at that. Look at that. Hi, if you're brand new, this is Worldwide Ramblings. Maybe you saw one of our latest pre-recorded videos on Pastor Bob Joyce, and this is the live show, so please sign in. whatever name you want to use within reason, and let us know where you're watching. I always like to know where you're watching. This gives me a thrill. I was a local radio DJ before the internet and after it. But we got out like 40 miles and that was it. I was thrilled that somebody was listening 20 miles down the road. Then the internet came along, which really would give you a potential of a worldwide audience. But why would they listen? They won't even know about you. So when somebody tells me they're in Dublin or somebody tells me they're in South Africa, we get that once in a while, or Spain maybe once, and quite a few people in Australia, amazingly, and Canada. And it's just kind of a thrill. Lots of great photos from the concert. I know we'll show as many as we can, as many as we can. It'll take a while. There's an abundance. There's an abundance. Rhonda Edwards, as I understand, there's going to be a movie documentary on Pastor Bob Joyce. Well, Rhonda, and by the way, where are you from? Um, I was, you know, I was contacted by a couple of people. I did an interview. This goes back months. And then I realized after I put on my best shirt and my hair looked just right like tonight. Made sure I visited Hair by Vito, getting too shaggy, my magic bottle and all that. And I did what I thought was the interview. And I told them a lot of stuff that amazed them that they didn't seem to know. And so they told me that one of them might be coming to New York and would like to interview me in person. And that never came together. And I haven't heard from them since. And I haven't heard a boo about that documentary. I know who to ask. I know who to ask, and I will. But I heard the same thing, and it was definitely in the works, and that Pastor Bob knew about it. Pastor Bob knew all about it. So where that is, and is it still going to happen? Where it will debut, and that kind of thing, I do not know. I do not know. It's been a while since I've heard anything about that. Um, Spain sounds like a lovely place to visit. Not on my list, Elaine. I don't know. I don't know. Like if you say Italy, I say yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a place I'd be interested in. Um, no, I don't want to go to any place where there's a potentially hostile government where people don't have rights. I wouldn't go to Cancun, for example. I don't want to go any place like that, where you could end up in jail and you'll never get out. No. So I don't really want to do that. But in terms of taking a cruise, you know, that does sound interesting to me, but you just don't know where you're going to end up and what can happen. I've never gotten to go on a Jimmy Sturr cruise because it's just not in my budget. I was saying earlier I'd like an iPhone because I would like the better camera so that when I go out to do a live remote, something going on, I've got the best possible camera I can have. Android tends to wash things out sometimes, especially in a concert video, washes things out. So that would be nice, but I don't know. Oh my goodness. It is essential to have your shoulder done. Who are you talking to? Yeah, Stonebridge put up some good photos. I did get a quick look at that. Cristari, is it her? Three severed heads. Left shoulder is being replaced, and bicep torn on right shoulder may be next. Continues to pour in. Cristari gets more than her share. More than her share. So Prestarian prayer. We've been praying right along. Did I see Joe Worrell? Maybe not. Thought I did. Please let us know. 94 watching. Please let us know where you are watching from. I think Richard has left us for the night, but I'm thankful, Richard, for you hitting the thanks button for $11.11. I appreciate that so much. Let's see here. Three severed heads wrote to me. Yeah, I got to get that. I got to roll that in next time Andy is up here. The best way is to roll that in, because putting it up here live last time it got washed out. I don't want to do that again. Just a wonderful picture, though. Three severed heads of you and your husband, 1952 and today. Wow. She wants to remind me. We want to see that picture. And that definitely requires I could do it on the phone via pre-recorded. For some reason, that shows up better. I don't know why. And so you were there. You were there, Bernadette? I guess I knew that. Bernadette was there. I hope all is well with you and Karen. Okay. I'm not saying sensitive things. I had the pleasure of attending Bob Joyce's concert at Stonebridge Farms in Cullman, Alabama last night. Security was a big deal. This is Bernadette from the Four Tops speaking. She likes that. Security was a big deal. We saw blue lights at the entry to the property, drones. I can see them right up here, and they're not the local kid. There's stuff going on in the night skies, everybody. When I bring it up, everybody goes to bed early or whatever. They're not out there looking. Summer's over now, so that'll make it worse. But there's things going on in those skies. Not just big drones, but also plain UFOs. But nobody cares. Security was a big deal. We saw blue lights at the entry of the property, drones, uniformed and non-uniformed officers. Well, they would have this for any local Arkansas pastor, wouldn't they? Don't you have guys with earpieces at your local Episcopalian church? No? Anyway, I'll stop that. There were no knives served with dinner. Oh, jeez. That's an interesting thing. This is going to be a pre-recorded video, because only a segment of my people will see this. So it's a preview for the family. See, what I just realized, this sounds like a pre-recorded video. But if I keep saying it, then I'm telling somebody else about it, and they'll be contacting you. Oh boy, there were no knives served at dinner, but there were forks. Well, that's good. There were notices posted to stay seated through the entirety of the show for security purposes. That is strange. That is something. Now, I assume they know people have to go to the bathroom, right? This is an older audience. I'm just looking at the rest of this. I'm going to save this because it's pretty good stuff, Bernadette, and I will record this immediately after this broadcast and release it tomorrow morning. Fair enough? Fair enough. I don't want to do a misstep here, but you'll see it tomorrow morning. Okay, Bernadette, good letter. Good letter. And she's happy to answer any questions you may have, and I'll have some for you too. And it says, Best, Bernadette from the Four Tops. Bernadette! Do, 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 do. Wish I could play it. Wish I could play it. Uh, GB is looking for the Tesla med beds in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Tesla med beds? Of course, Elon would want to get involved with that. Let's see here. Update on Hot Springs Tesla MedBed Center. Really? Not far from Pastor Bob, huh? Is that where he is on Tuesday? I hate the Tuesday. No, I don't hate the Tuesday. I like the Tuesday. But that comes from the movie The Terminal, and I love that movie. Of course, at the time, I didn't realize that Tom Hanks hated all Republicans' guts. I didn't realize that. Tesla MedBed Center opened January 16, 2023. Really? I have to look into this. The official ribbon cutting was January 25th. The Pepto Bismol pink on the building is gone. The doors are open and our guests love the building. Mostly the first remark is how peaceful the building is once they walk through the door. Our guests are having good results with pain reduction and pain relief. I got to check this out now. Let me get rid of some of these tabs here. I got more tabs than they used to have in the supermarket when everybody drank Tab. So John Cook put up that picture. Hi, John Cook. Send me an email, jackthefairguy@gmail.com. You could be used as an instrument to chastise me. Think about it. I did write to John once. He never answered back. So let's find this out. Before I read bogus stuff. No. That's the first thing it says. No, the term medbed is not associated with any specific medical facilities in Hot Springs, Arkansas. There are, however, two large hospitals in the city, National Park Medical Center and the Chai Chi St. Vincent in Hot Springs, which provide a wide range of standard medical services. National Park Medical Center is a 163-bed acute care hospital. The Chi St. Vincent Hot Springs, a 280-bed facility. So I think we may have fake news, everybody. We may have fake news, and some people don't realize that it is. But every time I look up med beds, I seem to come to a brick wall. Not a Brick House by the Commodores at 92 Rock 7. Huh. So I don't know. We don't seem to have it. Now, I've missed some comments here because I've been on other windows. Here's Jackie Oregon. Teresa Panel is talking to Cajun Calvin. There was a little girl that sat at our table. Let me put on my Walmart reading glasses. They're not fashionable, but you know. There was a little girl that sat at our table with her grandmother. I think she said 6th grade, and a little boy came to the table and talked to her, but they were the only ones on the piano side. Other than that, adults, huh? The heavy security is very interesting. It really is. Um, well, he did mostly slow songs, right? There wasn't too many fast ones. If I was disappointed in anything that I saw, it was that there weren't many fast songs. And I don't mean put your hand in the hand of the man. It's okay. Yes, Jack, please elaborate on the UFOs. Well, all I can tell you is when I go outside and I walk down the stairs, it isn't long before I hear the sounds of a motor. And we have a very specific flight route that comes out of Stewart Airport in Newburgh and goes like four houses down on an angle and heads towards, maybe they're going to, it's a short flight and you're going to connect at one of the New York airports or Newark Airport. I don't know. But they always go the exact same way. So you know them, and there's no little planes up there at night. So what I see are very big drones with huge white lights, a light in the middle that goes on and off. But these are big white headlights, like a car, you know. I see that. And then in my UFO video that's up here, you see a real UFO that splits up into four. It's like, the mothership lets off the little guys. The mothership, and some people will think I'm just crazy, and that's fine. When you see them with your own eyes, there's an old saying: a man with an experience is never at the mercy of a man with an argument. So there is that. So, not too many kids, huh, Teresa? Did he do any secular songs at all? That song that he sang for Willina, I didn't recognize that song, Teresa. Is that was basically a faith song too, right? I've only heard it once and I got the video up and I only heard part of it, of course. Did he do any songs that were not gospel? Teresa Panel or anyone who else was there? Because yes, Bernadette from the Four Tops, we wanna get your take. We want to get your take. I assume that's okay. Assume that's okay. I don't put sensitive information in. Jack, there's a Neil Diamond documentary movie coming out. Well, that'll be something to see. I love Neil Diamond. Love Neil Diamond. He's got the Parkinson's now. I guess that play continues on Broadway. But you are cancer free. Praise the Lord, Christari, on that. Yes. Yes, that's a huge thing. You can fix and patch the other things, but cancer can get out of hand. So that's why I got to have the colonoscopy. It's time. I got to call on Tuesday. Monday's a holiday. Monday's a holiday. Prayers for quick recovery, says Homer. So I think I've sort of caught up. Range of motion. Elaine talking to Neo. Still get commercials during the live stream off and on. Can disrupt watching you. See, I never see that. I don't see commercials to the replay. I had my hips replaced, still going strong, 40 plus years since that. But knee was a disaster. I remember you saying that. Yeah. My goodness. Yes. Since many of us here are of a certain age, we talk about our ailments and our surgeries and our medications, and that sometimes dwarfs into our favorite food, which is a more pleasant topic. But hey, this is what you have to deal with. I mean, thank God that medical procedures and medications are so advanced. So we'll see if they're able to find something for me, some kind of a program It's going to cover my Camzyos through the end of the year. Right at this moment, it doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. We'll see. Um, no, only gospel music, but I found it interesting that that he mentions songs from the 60s and a songwriter by name from the 40s. Uh-huh. Yeah, that one song he does is from the 40s that he loves so much. Um, can't pull it out of my head now. We talked about it in a video, though. He said all kinds of things over the years that he was in the service. I believe he says he was in Germany. Didn't see that sermon, so that's hearsay to me. I'm just saying that's what's been said. We know that he loves singing Elvis songs. He didn't sing any tonight, though, right? Didn't sing any Elvis songs tonight, whether it be gospel or whatever. Yes, he did. He sang How Great Thou Art. Okay, I answered my own question, which is a favorite, of course. Cajun, I couldn't hear the announcement at the beginning as many were chatting. Yes, relax your lips. This is a Bob Joyce concert about to start. Relax your lips. You know, one of the annoying things about the Friday night concerts downtown is there are people that come just to visit, and you know, especially if it's one of the great bands that appears there. There are I almost said women. Well, they always are, but that's because they always are. That's just my experience there. Us guys can do our share of yabbering. I know it. I know that we can. But I kind of want to move them into the middle of the street, take their lawn chair and move them into the middle of the street, right on the line, so they, you know, probably won't get hit. But they just, they just, they have no respect, no respect, and that's why a lot of people don't want to go back to the theater. It's not just because, well, we know it's going to be on pay per view in like 12 weeks or less. Um, People don't want to have to deal with rude people talking all the way through a movie, you know, reacting to everything. Yeah, we were talking. Oh, he did sing No One Stands Alone tonight. Very interesting. Very interesting. That, of course, being the song that Lisa Marie turned into a duet as a tribute to her father, Elvis Presley. And, you know, how many songs would you say he sang tonight? 25? More? Less? I don't know. But that, again, being in the mix is seen as a sign. Um, you could say, well, it's just one of his favorite songs, but the fact that he sang it a few days after the passing of Lisa Marie Presley, and then many that watch that music praise and worship service will swear that they heard him. I was kind of on the fence about this, that they heard him mutter into the microphone when it was away like that. I love you, Yisa. I love you, Yisa, which was supposedly the nickname for that Elvis gave Lisa Marie. He really only said Lisa Marie when he was a little upset with her. So that's that right there is what? 1,000,000 to 1. And we get into the private funeral and the order of service. We get into the George Klein funeral in Memphis, Tennessee. Is he going to show up for George Klein's funeral? Because if he should be Elvis Presley, he referred to George Klein as his best friend at one point. So that was an immediate question that we all had. Let's see here. Not a good picture if I find it. Never find something when you're looking for it, you know? I think I just did. So we know the George Klein funeral. It's a terrible shot. There's much better examples of this. George Klein funeral, I don't think they held it in a Jewish temple because there seemed to be so many seats. I think they held it in a private hall. Priscilla Presley was there, and sitting in front of her, this is to stage right, audience left, appeared to be Pastor Bob Joyce, the back of his head, and Matt Joyce sitting right next to him. And Priscilla was in the row back. And you guys all know all this story, but in case somebody needs to hear this that might be watching tonight, Priscilla was way down, and the rabbi called her up to speak, which she wasn't anticipating. She's shy. She didn't want to do it, but of course she went and did it. And when she comes back out of the 500 people in the room, as she goes past the man with the white hair and the guy who looks like Matt Joyce, the back of his head, she touches the shoulder. She touches the shoulder. Much better examples than this. She touches the shoulder of the man we feel is Pastor Bob Joyce. Oh, no coincidences, no possibilities at all. That's just something you make up. So I can't deal with people that aren't reasonable, you know. Think what you want. I don't care. You're just one person in the universe, you know. I still say I speak of possibilities. I could be wrong in my final conclusions. I could be wrong about the whole thing. Possibilities. That's known as CYA. Here's your chance. That's great. Lots of people are saying the same. I didn't see Gene Ho at the concert. Karen asked me if he was there. I didn't know the answer. Interesting. Here's your chance, says Hijack. I was there and it was incredible. I fought back tears the majority of the time. His voice is so clear and strong when heard live. YouTube doesn't do it justice. I'm still in awe. Amen, amen, amen. I think they're going to release this. They're going to release this on DVD, download, whatever they're going to do. You got to do both these days. Just the DVD is not enough. It's kind of outdated, isn't it? Technology moves on. It moves on. You can't. So I think we're still, med beds are still not a proven reality, but I know people believe in them, you know, and what can I tell you? I'd have to see proof. Every time I try to find proof, I can't find it. See what these signs are. Oh, that's a. They didn't want you live streaming at the venue. Yeah. Yeah, there's a thing called fair use, which you use as a teaser, where you because this is an entertainment news story. You say, well, it's a faith news story. Well, it's also an entertainment news story. It is, and it goes all over the world. Goes all over the world. So, you know, just like there was a news channel there tonight filming, or I should say, last night filming. Yeah. So we shall see where 2026 leads us. I don't know. How long can you dance on a slippery edge? I don't know. If the Holy Spirit's involved, I guess forever and a day. Forever and a day. So that's a story. That's a story. I'm going to do a pre-recorded video of Bernadette's story and release that tomorrow. Teresa Panel said, "Don't show my mug." Well, your mug is just hit 10,000 views, and it's not my channel, Teresa. How did they get that, huh? Oh, dear, Teresa. And I had it. I just didn't put it up. And I like the way they slowed it down, and your picture in the thumbnail is beautiful, Teresa. Very well done. So that's okay. That's okay. It's not like you hid it from me. But you do have 10,000 views, Teresa, so you know. So, looking forward to the next one. Do we have any idea that there will be a next one, Teresa? Did you get that vibe? Did you have interesting conversations? You can let me know in the email, jackthefairguy@gmail.com. I think you know it, though. I think you know it. Well, don't really want to do 2.5 hours tonight, something like that, because it's been a awesome couple of days here. And Oktoberfest is coming up tomorrow in Pine Island. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. I know a lot of people don't do 2 hours, but I love being with you. I really love being with you. And it amazes me how fast 2 hours can go. It's just it astonishes me sometimes. Romans 4, starting with verse 7. Blessed are those whose transgressions are forgiven. Amen. Whose sins are covered. Blessed is the man whose sin the Lord will never count against him. Can't be more blessed than that. Well, you can be, but I mean, that is the one you need first and foremost. In this blessedness, is it only for, they start talking about the circumcised. I think that confuses people. You need a real Bible teacher to go through that. So I'm going to skip because we have said that before. Since we have been, Romans 5, since we have been justified through faith, we have peace with God through our Lord Jesus Christ, through whom we have gained access by faith into the grace in which we now stand. And we rejoice in the hope of the glory of God. Not only so, but we also rejoice in our sufferings. There's a hard one, right? We rejoice in our sufferings because we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance, character, and character, hope. And hope does not disappoint us because God has poured out his love in our hearts by the Holy Spirit, whom he has given us. Pray for Christari as she has a procedure coming up. And another one after that, most likely, following her shoulder. And continue to pray for Adam Davidson, Marianne Rossi. You can always post your own prayer request. Thank you again, Elaine, for hitting the Cash App. Thank you so much. Thank you for those who hit the thanks button. I appreciate that very much. We're always trying to meet that meager budget. I'm on a limited income, says Faith, and by the time I could purchase, it was completely sold out. Yeah, there weren't that many seats, Next time they'll have to do a bigger venue. Mary Redford, hi. Are you from Tennessee? Who are you asking? I can probably tell that I'm not from Tennessee. We have Todd Bradshaw, who's not here tonight. I don't believe the Tennessee Titan. Todd Bradshaw is from Tennessee, and maybe he'll join us on Wednesday. I want to find someone and make my way to Household of Faith, says Faith. I may go to Household of Faith next weekend. Teresa is on fire now. Teresa panel is on fire. Don't worry, we won't put you out. The Cullman Daily had a reporter there at the concert, right? They had their own camera. Yeah, they absolutely did. Gail George, hi. Take care, everyone. Thank you, Gail George. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 3 severed heads. We'll get that picture up, I promise. Just take a little bit of time. I don't want to bring Andy up here again tomorrow. He's been up here 2 days in a row. He's got his own thing. He's a gamer and stuff like that. Plus, he does a lot of work for not only this house, but the houses that surround this house, So he's busy doing chores a lot of the time. He has a lot of different talents, including the ability to come up here and work with his editing equipment and get it done. Get her done. Get her done. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I've heard about this, that Bob Joyce and Elvis Presley have the same grandmother, Minnie Mae Hood Presley. I don't know this to be true. I know people say it. Minnie Mae was Elvis's paternal grandmother, and she was also the grandmother of pastor and singer Bob Joyce. I don't know any of that to be true, but you are not the first to tell me that. I have heard that. How do you prove it? I don't know. I just don't know how you prove that. Well, if Bob Joyce was Elvis, of course, they would have the same grandmother. That's obviously what people are thinking right now. Good night, everyone. Good night, Christari. Pray for Christari. I live close to Oxford, Alabama, says Faith. And you'll be able to comment in the pre-recorded, the replay section, which should be up in a few minutes as we say goodnight this time around. Thanks for watching Worldwide Ramblings. It's an exciting time to be covering the Bob Joyce story, but we're not gonna go crazy with it. Let the Lord use his good and faithful servant. Pastor Bob is the real deal. He loves the Lord Jesus Christ. If you don't know that, anything else you might believe, I would find suspicious. My name is Jack Willard. Talk to you Wednesday night, if not before. We can pop on, subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell. Please hit the thanks button if you can for any amount. $1, $2, $3. You can do that in the replay. If you don't see the thanks button right away, just go to any other video and hit the thanks button there. I'll be sure to thank you in the next show, the next live show, which should be Wednesday night. All right. Big God bless you. Bye-bye.